come in, say hey, order a beer, and I'll get you what I can. No, the one in Raleigh is so every one of them has something different. So I went to one in Orlando, and that one was a reunion for the Breakfast Club. So Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy, they were all there. The one in Dallas was the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. So I got to meet Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Elizabeth Shue, all of them. This one in Raleigh is 90210. So it's Jason Priestley, Tori Spelling, a bunch of them. So that's the idea. What's going on, Yvonne? How you doing, Frankie? So every one of them is different. But they used to be like Comic Cons. But now more and more, the comic books and stuff are still there, but they're becoming pop culture conventions. So they are triggering on nostalgia. And I was talking about GalaxyCon, so if you guys are anywhere near Raleigh at the end of July, I will be back from my trip, and I just got press passes, and they approved me to cover the event. So I'll be covering GalaxyCon in Raleigh. Back to the Future isn't going to be there this time around like last time, but it will be 90210. And also, the one I'm excited about is William Shatner.
Let's go for real.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, so we're just getting back from Greece on Wednesday, and then I'm traveling to Raleigh on Friday. And I wouldn't do it, but he's 91 years old. And I'm like, there's some things you don't put off, and one of them is seeing, William Shatner at a convention, because he might not be at the next one, for obvious reasons. This is just way the hell too bright. There, that's better. Much better. So yeah, it's pretty cool. What's going on, John? Good to see you. Kristen, hello. Old school, good to see you again. Gen X Jersey girl, going for the 5th year. Can't wait. Oh, cool. Maybe I'll see you there. Listen, I always say, if you see me, holler. I generally will be videotaping. I just showed my age. I will be streaming the panels. Generally speaking, I'll stream live for a bit of the panels, and I just take pictures, make them for content. So yeah, come find me. 90210 is one of my faves. I wasn't a huge 90210. You were the right age for that, right? Or just after you?
I was just after me.
Were you more? How about Saved by the Bell? Did you see that as a kid?
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell. So they do a lot of the conventions too. Mario Lopez actually commented on a couple of my posts, but he doesn't follow me yet. If you're watching, Mario, that's one I'd like to get. How's my day been? It wasn't bad. We got slammed earlier. I had nobody at the bar, and I mean nobody. And then within about 5 minutes, we've got about 22 seats at the bar, and all of them filled up immediately. So that was fun. Catch another? Yeah. What's going on, AJ? What's going on, Jason? Blah, blah, blah. Good to see you. Elvis Pie, hello. I loved Hill Street Blues. I never really watched Hill Street. I was more of I did all of the Law and Orders, the dun-duns. It didn't matter which one it was. I was all about Law and Order. Izzy, hello. Bill Bender, good to see you.
I've heard people say it was terrible.
Well, the new generation is a lot.
Yeah, my best friend, he was in the bar, and he came back saying, hey, whenever I leave,
But it's not like a good shit.
Looks like you'll be making money. Well, yeah, it's always good. But what sucks is, my shift today, it's my last shift before leaving for Greece. I will be doing Tuesday night trivia on Tuesday, but then leaving Wednesday. But I've been here since 4, and from 4 till maybe 7:30, it was dead. 7:30 to 8:30, basically that 1 hour I got destroyed. So it's, hey Linda, good to see you, honey. Yeah, I made good money in that hour, but it's like you make all your money in 1 hour and kill yourself.
What's the other one with?
I should know in my papers. It's official. Baseball 2 is in the works. I'm aware. Gentlemen.
Everybody was like, bro, couldn't walk out. It tastes good. I was like, you guys sit down and hurt. I took my hot water, poured it in there, closed the bag up, let it sit for 5 minutes, and I'm like,
I'm back up.
What?
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Nice to see you out. Yeah, you need them.
30 this year.
30? I'll say 27. So we were going to play a game with the kids, the servers, but it got busy and it ruined my video. But I was going to do a video with my kids today, all the servers, and the game is called Athlete, Singer,
President.
Actor, President. Athlete, Singer, Actor, President. I'm going to name somebody, and you need to tell me were they an actor, a singer, a president, or an athlete, okay? And we'll see how you do.
Poorly, but all right.
You think you'll do poorly? I think you'll do all right.
He's all right. 30, he'll be all
10
right.
out of 10. 100%. Let's
Think
go.
you'll get 10 out of 10? I don't think the kids would have. Start with David Lee Roth. Actor, singer.
Singer.
What
There
do
it
you
is.
think? What do you think? You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah? Who do you sing for?
A band. Dun, dun, dun.
All right. I don't think the kids would have gotten it. Rutherford B. Hayes.
Rutherford B. Hayes.
President.
Come on, man. Who's the big black private dick section in all the chicks? Rutherford B. Hayes.
Give me one, guys. Rutherford B. Hayes was president. How about... Well, yeah, president, politician, same thing. John Wilkes Booth. You guys be quiet.
The assassin.
There we go.
Actor.
Assassin.
Actor.
Well, yeah, he feels like
John Wilkes Booth
he checks
was an
out two
actor.
boxes. He checks out two boxes.
He was an actor.
He, also-
Questions aren't
he
allowed.
gets the assassin. He gets the assassin button.
You guys will get this one, he might not. Walter Mondale.
Actor. Reporter.
Politician, but not much of one.
Hey, they act.
Walter Mondale was vice president.
You should ask people who, you should ask people like, who was an EGOT?
An EGOT.
Oh, God,
That's
dude.
tough,
You
though.
got
I
tough.
only know one. Whoopi Goldberg, I know was an EGOT.
There's like 3 or 4.
You win an Emmy, a Golden Globe, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the other one.
Grammy. Sorry, Grammy. Not a Golden Gold, a Grammy.
Put a little bit of cranberry in it too. I don't know why,
So I just became one like last year.
but- What's going on? Ronald Reagan.
Come on.
Well, hold on. What was he? Actor,
Oh, he was
politician?
actor first. then
Okay, you
president.
knew he was an actor?
Yeah.
Very nice. Booth's brother was an actor too. Yeah, apparently he was the better actor. There was some animosity between both of those guys.
Before I got mad in trouble.
John Ritter.
A comedian.
Any idea?
Would be an actor.
Who? Name
John Ritter.
John Ritter.
it. That sounds like an actor to me.
Ah, nailed
Three's
it.
Company?
Sounds like
Three's Company.
John Ritter, good.
Yeah, so you know it. That was Jack. John Ritter was Jack.
Yeah, okay. All right. I don't know.
Who
names.
also, I didn't realize, so I hated with a passion the show The Waltons when I was a kid growing up. I hated it. The Waltons was like the kinder, gentler version of Little House on the Prairie, if you can imagine. Little House on the Prairie was savage. If you haven't seen it,
I've watched it.
you got blind kids burning down in orphanages and shit. You got a mime in full makeup sexually assaulting a girl on Little House on the Prairie.
I didn't know that.
You've got Alfred with a morphine addiction, and the mother with a. But the Waltons was the morphine exactly. I am addicted to the Waltons right now. I'm like on season 2 episode. I'm binge watching it. It's just cool watching like the depression. Like it takes this family that was in Virginia. So now I live in the South. So I'm like, it's Jefferson County, Virginia. They're in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and they're just. It's like watching what they can buy with a penny. You know, like the kids get excited because somebody gives them a dime. You know, and it's just. But John Ritter plays a reverend on like season 2, and I had no idea. He's in like 15 episodes. He's like probably in his early 20s at the time. Thank you. He wasn't very old in Three's Company either. Albert, yes, Albert, the morphine addiction. The other one that scared me was Mrs. Ingalls is left home alone for some reason and cuts her leg.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that when she gets like the infection in her leg and she almost has to amputate her own leg? Dude, a little trauma on the prairie. This show was savage.
They're supposed to be remaking that show too.
Well, they're remaking it based on the novels, so they're going back to the subject matter. I remember as a kid, after Mary woke up blind, so So the oldest daughter has scarlet fever. In one episode, she just wakes up screaming because she's blind. Went to bed, she could see, wakes up in the morning, she's blind. And I remember watching it as a kid, and like my mom must have thought I was the biggest idiot. I would just take a bandana and put it around my head, and I'd walk around the house seeing if I could. I mean, am I the only? Did you guys ever practice being blind? I remember we would practice being blind. Well, see, I didn't trust myself. I'm a cheater. But I practiced being blind because, like, we thought we could be set on fire at any moment. We practiced stop, drop, and roll. We practiced being blind. House, Little House every day. Ted Knight, actor, politician. Ted Knight.
Singer.
Knight. That's a good one. What's going on?
And what was that other show?
Too Close for Comfort and Mary Tyler Moore. What was? It was like Beauregard. Well, that's right. He was in Caddyshack too. No, Knight. Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
All right, here we go. Vincent Edward Jackson. None of you will get this one. No Googling. Vincent
Politician.
Edward Jackson. Politician, actor, athlete, or singer?
Politician.
What's going on, Roger
I want
Dodger?
to see if the internet gets this one for once.
I'm waiting, because they get
never lose.
everything, but no
They never
Googling.
lose.
I got singer,
Vincent Edward Jackson.
Vincent Edward Jackson. Actor, that was Vince Edwards. Singer. Guys are all coming in heavy with singer. Would it surprise you to know that his nickname was Bo?
Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Vincent Edward Jackson was Bo Jackson. That's a good trivia question.
Just found out.
Yeah, we just found that out. I was thinking it was gonna be like Beauregard or something.
Bovine.
But yeah, Vincent Edward knew Diddley. Bo knows Diddley.
Bo knows Diddley.
That's a good one.
That's very good.
Bo Jackson was amazing. Did you old enough to remember him playing baseball and football?
No.
The guy played for the White Sox?
Yeah.
No,
Kansas City
Kansas
Royals.
City. Kansas City it was Jordan who played for the White
Yes,
Sox.
Jordan of the White Sox.
But yeah, Garth Brooks.
He played professional baseball.
I think he's only played minor league, though. I don't know if he made it up to the pros.
He played like 2 games.
I was in the prime time era.
Yeah, well, and yeah, he tried
Yeah,
it
he was
too.
there prime time.
He tried it too. But Bo Jackson was like not only good at both, he was amazing at both.
Yeah,
He was
if he
incredible at
wasn't
both.
as strong as he was,
Well,
he would have
no.
continued to play. Because they said that's how he destroyed his hip.
Did he play baseball after the hip?
Yeah,
So he was able to continue with baseball,
but
just
it
not
wasn't
football.
the same. It wasn't the same. You have to rotate.
So he was like Tim
Going on.
Tebow.
He was incredible. He was like, what? What'd you say?
That's a Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow? Tebow, you got to give it to Tebow. For a guy that didn't, great, I mean, undeniably great. Heisman, right? College,
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Could not transition to football in the NFL. It didn't happen. It didn't. Come on, dude, it didn't happen.
He knew how to win.
No, it happened.
It happened, but he
Who?
wasn't.
Oh, Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he didn't have a long, illustrious career in the NFL. It was short and sweet. But the guy made it into a career nonetheless. I'm like, because he was. But if he was ugly, it never would have happened. John Schneider has a YouTube channel. I follow him on Facebook because Dukes of Hazzard was a huge show. Do you remember that?
Of course I do. Daisy Duke.
Huh? Now, was Daisy Duke named Daisy Duke because they're like, oh, we'll put her in Daisy Dukes, and they gave her the name, or did we call shorts Daisy
Every
Dukes?
time my cousin Daisy did it.
Yeah.
So she's the one that made she came chicken and the egg. She came first.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't figure out, did she come first, or did we just name her Daisy Duke because? Okay, the Daisy Dukes. Did she recently pass away?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think she got older. I know I did a post. I mean.
Well, they get
But I'm
older
saying
every
she
day.
hit an age like 70 or something because I posted for her birthday, but I think she's still alive.
We'll find it out.
We're looking. I would guess she's probably 70.
Catherine Bach was the original.
Catherine Bach.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure she's still alive. She does a lot of the conventions too.
She's not bad. That would have been like a big thing.
That would have been a big one. I see you, Glenn.
She's 71 years old.
71. Yeah, I definitely wished her a happy 70th birthday. No, thank you. I appreciate it, though.
Oh, yeah.
She still looks good
Yeah, she does.
for 70.
No,
I mean, she looks good,
she looks
period.
good, she looks good.
Am I a cook or a bartender? Not much of either, but bartending. Well, not now. Now it's like, don't expect anything out of me. I'm on YouTube.
So, John, just what we were talking about earlier, right? What would be the mascot by decades? Mascot.
Mascot
let's
by
say 70s Evil
Well,
Knievel.
let's go back to the 50s. The
Okay.
50s, it would be
The
a
greaser.
housewife in a frilly apron.
Right.
That would be the mascot for the 50s, because that was the decade where mom ruled, held the family together, would do everything in a pair of kitten heels. Is that a thing? And a nice dress and a frilly apron. That was the 50s. Linda Carter fan, very nice. 60s.
Hippie?
LSD, can LSD be a mascot?
Yeah, it could be a mascot.
Or is that more 70s?
No, I think it's 60s.
Yeah, I would.
Woodstock was 69, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Psychedelic era. 60s.
I would say LSD would be a good mascot for the 60s.
Yes.
Disco for the 70s.
Okay, there we go.
We'll
A disco
give
ball.
disco and needing a shower.
See, now here's where it gets crazy in the 80s, because I was talking about you earlier.
80s. So my buddy,
80, I don't know, 80 sounds just like, I don't know, like, I'm a girl for music, so it
Yeah.
used to be like, it'd be a boombox.
Right.
I mean, the 50s,
Yeah.
the 50s
But-
would be like,
radio transitioning to TV.
no, but I mean, the music was like doo-wop. It was like, you know, like,
Yeah.
Somebody said cocaine for the 80s.
Well, it depends on what part.
Well,
Miami,
but here's the
definitely.
thing. My buddy Chris, who I do the podcast with, says that's what set the 80s apart. You can like stereotype a very specific thing about each decade until you hit the 80s. And then pop culture exploded. Because the 80s you had the music. But you also had the fashion. Like 80s fashion was a thing. And you also had the movies. Back to the Future. I mean, movies exploded in the 80s. And you also had Atari and video games for the first time. So it's like 80s, there's not one mascot. There's so many.
But Bigfoot.
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 I never got
He had a
into
monster
Bigfoot.
truck. Harry and the Hendersons.
Aquanet.
I mean, he was everywhere.
MTV. MTV's a big one.
Yeah, I guess if you want a logo. If you want a logo.
there's something consistent throughout every single thing. Just like,
But think about it, look, the disco ball from the
Which is?
70s sounds pretty good. That sounds
Which
pretty
is?
legit.
I don't know,
Oh.
I'm saying.
It's pop culture. 80s was like a decade of pop culture.
So-
Everything
so
was
the Rubik's Cube?
performative. Everything was like I don't know.
The Rubik's Cube then?
The Rubik's
Your
Cube?
best friend, the
Well, I
Rubik's
mean,
Cube?
it's even toys were big in the 80s.
But
We-
it has to be a mascot. It's one thing you
That's
see
that
and
one
it
thing.
screams out 80s.
I'm kind of partial to cocaine, not personally, but I like it. Now that's going to be a clip. That,
Not
someone's
right-
going to cut
not
that
right.
piece out.
Boombox is good.
Arcades. I like arcades too, though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
take a
wish.
stand-up Pac-Man console, Frogger. Hit you again? Same way? How about Mad Dog?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the late night.
dude, why did you go? Oh, I think it's good.
Delicious.
I had a bottle of the Orange Jubilee the other day. It was delicious. Cold? It's really good.
Mix it with something. Oh man, it's
Speaking of Daisy Dukes, did you ever watch movie?
Of course
Yeah.
I watched Clue. I
Yeah.
loved
You know what a
Clue.
rat looks like now?
Clue?
A rat?
oh the
Oh, no.
the maid.
Oh my, you have no idea what she looks like?
No.
Madeline Kahn? Was she in Clue?
Madeline Connor was Miss White.
Yes. Yeah, Clue was fun.
Yeah,
I
but
love
she, like, okay, so here we go.
The VHS cassette.
My number one post this.
That's
Oh,
May. This is
What's your name?
best bar, keep the drinks will never be empty. Appreciate you, Glenn. Thank you, man. Appreciate the super chat.
That's what she used to look like. That's what she looks like now.
No,
Man.
I'm sorry, but
used to
everybody
love
gets
shit.
old. Let me see. Yeah.
The used to is fantastic.
So everybody gets old. I will
Well,
never
Colin
mock
can't.
somebody for just by biology, right? But some of these people
No.
were such
I mean, at least
so
you got to enjoy
amazingly
that in the
good
80s.
looking that they had nowhere to
You
go
got to
but
enjoy
that.
that for like 30 years. I've done with that.
You
for
know, the
next
rest of us, it's not a big deal.
It's pretty much that's.
Yeah, I mean,
camp. That's what it is.
look up Yasmin
Yeah,
Bleeth.
oh no, come on, don't do that, man. Come on, it's
Look
Thursday
up,
night.
Look up Yasmin Bleeth from,
It's Thursday
from
night.
Baywatch.
Why would you do that?
And I'm not. And again, I'm not making fun of biology. It happens. We all get old. But when you are a goddess on Earth and then you become a simple human being as a result of genetics and biology, it's a long way to fall. What's going on, AJ? Over in NT or just Tonawanda proper? Good to see you. Where's Swansea?
Swansea.
Kelt says, I've aged well, I appreciate it. Being dead inside and evil helps. Once you're dead inside and have no
No need to
expectations
age.
on
There's no
life,
need to age.
things get good. Look up David Hasselhoff. Yeah, but David Hasselhoff, I would say, arguably, he was kind of old in Baywatch. Not old by today's
He was the old
standards.
man in Baywatch. He was the
What's
old
that?
man.
Yeah, but not old by today's standards. I mean, he was probably, what, 40-something? How old? Let's
Let's
look it
find
up.
out.
But I mean, you know, he wasn't a young kid on Baywatch, so I don't. It's when you don't see them age that it's rough. When the last time you saw them, they were like 25, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, there they are at 70. That's rough. Macaulay Culkin's doing better. He aged really badly for a minute there, but now he looks okay.
So the Hoff
The Hoff.
was 40 to 46.
So yeah, he was almost dead. He was old
Yeah.
by our standards at the time. He was 46 when he got off Baywatch. So there's that.
That's not terrible.
Hey, from Middle Tennessee, go Bills.
You remember Sharon Osbourne, singer back in the 90s?
Sharon
Who?
Osbourne.
Sharon
Ozzy Osbourne?
Osbourne.
Oh, Joan
Yeah,
Osbourne. Yeah,
bitch, right?
Supposedly, so she went away, she came back, and like, she's 62.
that sounds right.
And like, people were like, oh my God, wait. I don't know what they thought she looked like, but
Well, that's my point because she went away.
I know, that's what I know what you're saying.
Oh, you remember T.J. Hooker
Yeah.
with William Shatner? William Shatner looks amazing. And again, I'm not mocking these
He's
people.
92.
Adrian Zmed, if you happen to come across my page, I'm not throwing hate. I'm just saying, this is a guy that in the 80s was dating Heather Locklear on the show. And I mean, the guy was a guy's guy. He looked good. Look up Adrian Zmed and hold on to your hats. Because Adrian Zmed's had a hard time with aging. And again, it's because he was that good looking to begin with, that now that he looks like what does he look like? What do you even say to that?
Like a grandmother.
He looks like a grandmother. He stuffed his pants. Shatner looks awesome. Shatner is the man. That's the number one reason I'm going to Raleigh for GalaxyCon when we get. Oh, I think AJ just saw Adrian's med because I see holy shit in caps come across. Yeah. He
No,
looks,
maybe he looks
he
like
looks
me.
like a used furniture owning lesbian from Vermont.
I'm repurposing this stool.
Yes, I knew that one. That the original Michael Myers mask was a William Shatner mask
yes.
painted white. They turned it inside out.
Yep.
They enlarged the eye holes, and then that's what Michael Myers used for the Halloween mask. It's Captain Kirk mask.
Rocket fan.
Swear to God, true story.
The original.
You know, Linda, you're not wrong. Part of why Shatner looks good is his weight. As you get older, being thin doesn't
dry out.
necessarily work in your favor.
No.
I mean, that's why people get injections, right? They're basically putting fat in their face. Some of us just do it naturally. Raisin equals Adrian. Now let's be nice. Never heard of him. He was in Bachelor Party with Tom
No, he
Hanks.
was in a bunch of it.
Yeah. So he
definitely
was
right
an '80s guy. He
Once
was in
I saw
Bachelor
him.
Party. Adrian's med. He was in Grease 2, I think, or Grease 1, one of them. And he was in T.J. Hooker.
Yeah, Grease too.
Dude, you barely eat any of that.
What are you talking about?
I can put it in a box. Don't put a napkin over it. Take it home.
There's 4 chips left.
All right, well, there's still something. You know what's going to happen. You're gonna
Well,
sit
that's a
on
funny one.
television At like 1 in the morning, you're like, you know, it'd be really good right now, those 4 chips.
So Adrian Zemed got to start in 1978.
How old is he?
Well, I mean, I got
God, we took a deep dive into Adrian Smed.
54. He's my dad's age. So
He's 54?
Yeah.
No, he was born in 54. I'm like, if he's 54, I'm feeling really good about myself. 71. And I think Shatner looks better than him at 92.
Yeah.
Do you know that Jason Hockey Mask was because two crew members loved hockey and had a goalie mask with them. Director liked it and used it, and the crew members from Buffalo.
It was better than the bag, bro.
It was better. So most people don't realize, or a lot of people don't realize that Friday the 13th movies.
Yep.
Who was the killer in the original movie?
In the first one.
Friday the 13th?
Yeah,
The first one.
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
How much would you bet on that?
Not a lot, because I don't seem confident right now. You just
He
asked me.
says not a lot. I don't seem confident right now. Would it surprise you to know that Jason really isn't in the movie?
He makes an appearance at the very
At the
end.
very, very end,
The
he
last
makes
scene.
like it's a jump scare. His mother was the killer in the
His
first
mother
one.
killed everybody.
She's mad because the counselors were doing all kinds of naughty things, getting high, having sex, drinking, and weren't watching when her son drowned. So she invited them all back to Camp Crystal Lake to have
she
her
killed them
revenge.
all.
And then she dies, and he
Mrs.
takes over.
Voorhees is the killer in the
They
original.
cut off her head, and they keep the head. So in the second one, now Jason comes out.
I didn't know
But he
that.
doesn't have the hockey mask. He has a
No, he
potato
has
sack bag.
part
It's the
two.
worst shit ever,
He
man.
has a
It's
burlap
terrible.
sack with
With
just
one
one
eye.
eye hole. Yeah,
With one eye.
So in part two, he only has a
What?
burlap sack. It's
Yeah.
not until Friday the 13th, part three,
That he gets the
3D,
mask. Yeah.
that he gets the
He gets
hockey
the
I
mask.
was more of a Freddy Krueger guy anyway.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke made a bad choice
Oh
getting
no!
worked
Come on, bro! Don't make fun of Mickey, bro.
There is a meme with Mickey Rourke
And Axl
sitting
Rose.
next to Axl
Oh my
Rose.
God.
And they look. It could be a bad picture, but they look
No.
for the life of me.
They're like two Jewish wives from the
They
Queens.
look like two Jewish grandmothers talking about I don't know what. Yeah.
Edna has
Listen,
the worst
there's
matzo ball
no.
soup.
It's going to happen to all of us if we get lucky. Our ears continue to grow every day of our lives. At one point, body parts will be dragging along the floor, leaving snail trails. What's that?
Ears get bigger, you better get smaller.
No, please.
Speak for yourself, bro.
Yeah, he couldn't get any smaller.
That's my day.
Don't tell him that. He's already in micro territory.
No, that's
Richard Grieco looks like Mickey Rourke now.
Yeah.
Surgeon.
Yeah, Grigo does.
And again, I'm not. Oh, it's all right. We're all Gen X in this room. We can make fun of people a
You can
little
do
bit.
it. Go nuts.
It's not hate. Why did they make Halloween 3 for money? Do a live where you get high as fuck. Dude, first of all, it's not legal in this state, but I do go back to Buffalo a lot, and it's legal there. I have not done that since I was like 25. It's been a good 25 years, and I wasn't good at it when I did it. Yeah, Linda, you say that, but I did a video with Abe Vigoda in it, who is Greek. And if you ever watched Barney Miller, Fish, Abe Vigoda is 54 years old and Barney Miller's looking all of 75. I'm older than Fish. If you look at this guy looked like all of 70 years old at 50. I looked up his high school yearbook picture. He looked 40 then, so that's a genetic thing. But no, I was really bad at getting high. I was so paranoid. I thought everybody knew. It made me really, really nauseous. Like, it's supposed to be an anti-nauseant. Like, they give... Yeah, maybe, because I know they give marijuana to, like, cancer patients to help trap down their nausea and build up their appetite, but it made me nauseous and paranoid.
Yeah, but I think if you're in a nice controlled area where we're just going to pump John full of 80s movies and TVs.
Oh, I'm not
And
saying
you
it
get 'em
didn't. I'm
hammered
not
to
saying
record
I
everything.
didn't. I remember one time we went camping, and we went camping in Letchworth
I'm not
State
getting
Park.
high and going camping. Are you
So,
crazy?
well, hold on. So it was sophomore year in college. A bunch of my buddies every year had a friend of theirs whose name was Archie, and Archie was born with no hand on his left arm. It just ended at his wrist. And in New York State, part of a perk of being disabled is you get free access to the state parks. So we would always bring Archie with us on our annual camping trip so that we didn't have to pay for the park. That and Archie was a cool guy, sort of. But at any rate, I remember they're like, let's get stoned because we're at camp. What could go wrong? No one's here. No one's driving. Dude, I just remember being around the campfire. I had just smoked, and I had a hot dog in my hand. And I just remember never in my life have I been that hungry but I could not force the hot dog to traverse the journey between my hands to my mouth. I mean, I was hallucinating. It wasn't just something was in there, because that's not just pot. I hallucinated. It was bad. So that was a 80s high cocaine. Oh, he means 80s high cocaine. If I took cocaine, my head would explode. My head would literally explode on camera. Have you ever done it? You've done it. Oh, you've done it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I've never.
I have never.
Never.
I've never sniffed the double
Probably
standard.
really liked it, you give it that.
I'm way too
I'm
open.
the same way.
No booger sugar.
When I did it, I was like, oh my God, it's great.
Well, you know, so my ADHD, like coffee, stimulants like that settle me down. Adderall speed, it settles me down. So maybe it's what the doctor ordered. I don't know.
Listen, man, I hope Adrian Zemed has some money put aside, bro, because he wasn't in much.
Manny's still on the Adrian Zemed rabbit hole.
But look at this, right? So
All right, he was in
He
Grease
made, he
2.
made his debut on one episode of Starsky and Hutch in '78,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Then a couple like no names. He was on an episode of Bosom Buddies. One episode of Bosom Buddies.
All right. That's Tom Hanks. 1 Degree of
Right.
Connected.
Then he's on Grease. Then he's in Grease 2.
Grease 2. Do
Okay.
that.
Then Bachelor Party. Okay. 72 episodes with T.J. Hooker. Okay.
Right.
2 episodes of The Love Boat.
Right.
1 episode of Empty Nest.
I'm definitely hyperactive.
One episode of Murder She Wrote.
What's he done since? Anything?
Sharknado 4.
Sharknado 4. Look up his net worth. I love how you can look up like people's net worth.
He's probably worth like.
I'd tune in for that. Smell the diesel. Yeah, I loved smoking. I was a big smoker, like cigarettes. I loved smoking.
3
cigarettes.
million. So he made some
He's
smart
worth $3
investments.
million.
He made
That's
some
incredible.
investments.
He did well.
He's worth how much?
3
$3
million.
million. Adrian's Med's still worth $3 million. I mean, supposedly. That's good because some of them. I mean, I watch. Look up.
Oh well, who just that?
Hold on.
Duvall, man.
Oh,
What's
what the
Shelley
heck's
Duvall?
his name? Who was I just saying? Goonies.
Yeah,
Mouth.
Corey Haim.
Corey Haim. Look up Corey Haim's net worth. Like, how much do you think Corey Haim would be
He's
worth?
touring. You know.
Yeah. Corey
Feldman,
Feldman. Corey
sorry,
Feldman.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
Corey Haim's not worth much because he
He's
died.
dead.
With like fucking some band.
He's not worth what you think he would be worth.
No, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, what's Corey Feldman worth?
There's no fucking way, man. Let me make sure before I say
No.
anything.
He came on some hard times.
No, man, there's no way.
What does it say?
$30,000.
Yeah, his net worth is around $30,000. Maybe I've seen it as high as like a couple $100,000. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim has more money in his pocket than Corey Feldman right now. He's even talked about it. He's doing the Comic-Con circuit. He's charging like $80
Yeah.
for an autograph.
He
and-
does the concerts
and
now.
he
and
does
everything.
he's starting to do the concerts. He had a rough time. I did not know that, Whisperer. Thought it was around 80,000. Regardless, you know, this is the guy who, you know, was in Stand By Me, The Goonies.
Oh no, he had a run.
He had a run. He was in the
License to Drive.
License to Drive. Well, that might have been the end of it, but he had his own one. He had his own 1-900 number. You could call him and talk to him.
Yes.
Not many things.
Yeah, I remember that, Linda.
This is my wish.
Do like you do.
My net worth is in the negatives. To be fair, that's fair. You know, he's got a positive net worth. My net worth is what it is only because we moved to the Carolinas in 2016 and bought our home then. And it was like the best possible time to buy a house. Like my home value has more than doubled since I've owned it. And that's about it.
COVID was crazy too. Why you?
Yeah.
Why? If he was really innocent.
A lot of it. So here's the thing. You get used to living a certain standard of life, right? And so when you're making a ton of money, some of these people are still just one of those enormous big paychecks away from being broke. And then the big paycheck stops coming and they're still living in this enormous house, leveraged to the hilt, and it just goes south quickly.
No, there was a Bad News Bears TV series.
Yeah, there was a Bad News Bears TV series. I remember it. It lasted only 2 seasons.
He was on it.
What's going on, Roxy? Dana Plato was worth $1,000 when she died. That's
Damn,
sad.
That's terrible. What about Shelley
Different
Duvall?
strokes.
Shelley Duvall was
Shelley
bad
Duvall
shape when
was
she passed
in
away, man.
like destitute. I almost said prostitute.
She had like no.
She's not a prostitute. Well, if she was, that would explain why she was destitute.
Shelley Duvall
That
looked,
old down in Ages of Milk.
Shelley Duvall looked really bad when she passed away, man.
What's going on, D? It just goes to show, man. It's literally. I mean, I ordered my. Have you ever ordered your Social Security earnings report?
Yeah.
So if you go to mysocialsecurity.gov, you can get a Social Security earnings report, and it'll show every single year.
Let's get an email for that, like I get an email.
I get yeah. But mine goes all the way back to when I was 14. It shows that at 14 I made $6,000, which is good money. I mean, but it'll show your earnings every single year since you've been earning. And I've got years where I made very little, probably was bartending full time and hiding it all. And I've made years where I did really well, and I've never been rich. Even the really good years, we blow it, we spend it, we live it. And I think that's our generation. Our parents didn't do that. My parents were always saving for a rainy day. Everything was saved for tomorrow. Mom, can we do this? No, we're saving money. We need to save. Boomers saved for retirement like no generation before that.
We have McDonald's at
They
home.
shoveled money away into their retirement, and now it's all going to nursing homes because they all need assisted living, and it's all just being gone. It's not coming our way. And I mean, we're taking a trip to Greece. We're leaving in a week. This trip is something we've saved for a long time. It's going to cost us a lot of money. And when we come back, I'm going to work a lot of hours to build up my savings again. But it's more important for me to live and make memories with my kids now. Is that it, Manny? She's on it. I'm gonna. Oh, I appreciate you, Linda. I'll work till the morning of my funeral. I really am okay with that.
That's what I feel like it's gonna happen.
I'm okay with it. Maybe I won't be when I'm 80. My dad worked well into his 70s, and he said biggest regret was selling the restaurant and retiring at 75, 80 years
Stop
old.
moving.
He's like, I said, Dad, you have hobbies. He goes, hobbies aren't a requirement. It's a mildly strong suggestion. Nobody's counting on you to open up your Lego set. Nobody's counting on you to do the puzzles or to. When it's a requirement to be somewhere, when people are counting on you to show up, that keeps you young. You're needed. He goes, the minute you retire, you're no longer needed.
Well, it's your brain's not being simulated. I mean, like simulated.
Yeah. Somebody asked, Glenn asked money management. I was actually in banking for years and years and years. I don't take my own advice, but save early and often. Let compounding work for you. The greatest thing ever invented for young people is a Roth IRA. Being able to shove money away when you're not in a high tax bracket and then take out money 40 years later without any tax implications. That's huge. You know, if I tell my kids, the other thing is don't rent forever. Find a way, buy a house. Kids today are saying they can't afford to buy homes. They're wrong. They can. They can't afford to buy homes where they necessarily want them. They can't afford to buy their dream house first, no matter what HGTV tells you. But you can afford a townhome on the outskirts of town, and you can afford a duplex where you rent out half of it and use that as income. It may not be what you want, but it'll get the job done. Real estate is the number one way to have assets, to attain wealth. Buy a house. Stop wasting money on rent.
What's Ramsey say? Live like no other, so that one day.
Yeah, but Ramsey overdoes it. If it was
I'm
up
not a
to
fan
no,
of
I
it,
know.
but-
Ramsey's he's like the killjoy.
He is.
You know, Ramsey wants to take all your money and put it away. That's no fun. Don Julio shot chilled.
Chill it.
Chill it. Salt mine.
No, neither.
Don Julio Blanco. Anyone?
The Julio.
Shot every birthday. Way did or whatever. The guy thinks we're short.
Remember?
It happened.
Sunday night?
Oh yeah. We had a table say, so imagine this. They got 2 strawberry margaritas with Patron in it, and then the guy had the ball stomach, he didn't have Patron in it.
Well, it all gets measured. It doesn't get measured because I don't know how to pour a shot. It gets measured because I don't ever want someone to think they got less than they deserve.
Well, the thing was, they all got Patron margaritas. I'm like, I promise you, Patron was in every one of your drinks.
Get your Miller Lite, Randy.
Really?
Yeah, why not? I don't have a good reason.
Yeah, this is our life. So Sunday night we do all just 80s stuff and 70s stuff, but it's just whatever they want to talk about, whatever we can think of. Oh, my wife picked up. My wife nailed it. She goes, the only thing you do online is you bartend without the liquor. It's your same stories that I've been hearing. She goes for 40 years. Now you just found a bigger audience. Get it again?
Oh, John, he found it today. He found the scratch spot.
I don't know. Number 3. So Back to the Future. Have you guys all seen the trilogy?
Yes. Well,
What's the best one?
second.
Second one? That's funny because that's a dark one. A lot of people usually don't like the second one because the mom has got fake boobs and is married to Biff and the dad's
I think
dead.
that adds to it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying that a lot of people don't like the second.
I don't like the third one.
I hated the third one.
I don't like
Not
that at all.
hate. Hate's too strong a word. I didn't like the whole idea of Back to the Future being back to the
Wild West.
Wild West. I'm like, that's not the future. What is? Let's see. What do we got? Second one. Joseph likes. I like the second one the best too. It was dark, but I like the fact that they were in the future,
You gotta figure-
which is now 10 years in our past.
Yeah.
That future with flying hoverboards was
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah. It's funny when you think about it because we all base our time travel theory off of the first one.
The second one where Biff at the casino.
Yes.
Yeah, that he goes back to
steals
the
book.
alternate.
I'm trying to remember the second one.
Yeah, so the first one, plus what I loved about the second one is that it incorporated the first one. Like you'll see Michael J. Fox, you'll see Marty
Yeah.
watching
At
himself.
the enchantment under the sea.
Yeah, and they did a really good job with that. They mixed it in. What are the beers on tap? We have 18 beers on tap
We used to
now?
have 44, now it's 24.
24? What do you like? IPAs? We are kind of IPA heavy. Good to see you, Master Isaac. The plot holes never bothered me. Because they get around the plot holes by doing the whole alternate timeline thing, that they create a different. Marty, people would explain rightly so. Marty never gets back to his timeline.
No.
He's forever in a different alternate timeline. His parents have money. He has a truck. That's not his timeline. He doesn't.
Biff is washing his
Yeah.
car, it's not the same one.
Yeah, Doc was wrong. 2025, 10 years later, we don't need roads where we're going. Bullshit. We still need roads. And I'm living in South Carolina. I got to tell you, the roads here ain't so great.
No.
Go to North Carolina, they're great.
Dude, it's horrible. I came to work the other day. I blew a hole in my tire hitting a pothole. It was a slow day, too. Came here to go to work, made $120 and spent $400 on a tire. We need better roads. Yeah, they're rough here. But, taxes are low at least, so there's that.
Well, what other classic movies had better sequels than the first?
I think 80s, ruled sequels, though. 70s and 80s. Godfather had 3 that were
Godfather
amazing.
2 is better. I thought
I've never
was the best
seen Godfather. Never saw 1, 2, or 3.
People swear by the first. The third one's not so good. I thought the second one was perfect.
Where do I work? I work in Indian Land, South Carolina, a place called Hickory Tavern. We'll read in the address as Fort Mill, but that's a long story. We don't have a post office, so we use the neighboring town's post office. So it'll say we were in Fort Mill, but we're in Indian Land, which is an unincorporated part of Lancaster County.
Correct.
And yes, I said Lancaster because I've lived here long enough to know that I can't say Lancaster.
Yeah, we get shot.
Lancaster. Lancaster.
Lancaster?
I know The Godfather is good, but I've not watched it so far into my life that now I can't. Now it's a thing. Now I made it to 55 years old without watching it. I know you're shocked every time you hear me say I'm 55. The difference between us, I got to tell you, isn't so great. My buddy here is turning 30. What he doesn't know that we all do is the difference between 30 and 55 isn't 25 years. It's like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You're going to go to sleep tonight and wake up at your daughter's wedding.
Don't tell me that.
Oh, don't tell you that. You have no idea. And I remember old people telling me this, and I didn't believe them either. There's nothing you can do about it. It just happens. Never watched The Matrix. I like The Matrix. Ferris Bueller is probably the one movie that I was shocked never became a trilogy. That especially with the 80s, that it would have been so easy. Ferris Bueller's Next Day Off, or Cameron's Day Off, or
Yeah.
but it was like perfect, right? It was a perfect one shot and done.
Ghostbusters?
It depends. If somebody could get the original cast of Goonies together, and we could see their kids, and somebody do a movie where they like have the kids go on an adventure and keep it true to what kids are like today. So now it would be an app. Now it would be their phones. But it would at least let kids know what it was like, or maybe take that stuff away from them and let kids see. Well, I mean, there's got to be a way to do it. I'm sorry, Glenn. I missed you, brother. Let me go back. I'm turning 38, and we are the same, sir. Dude, if you ask me when the year 2000 was 20 years ago, and it always will be for me. I'm sorry, the 80s were 20 years ago. I stopped aging in 2000. In my brain, I hit 30 and done. So if somebody says, hey, remember when this thing happened 10 years ago? For me, my main automatically, I think 1990. If somebody says, oh, I was here in the 30 years ago, I'm like, oh, really, in the 70s? I'm like, no, that wasn't 30 years ago. But it's crazy, but that timeline works for me. I stopped aging mentally in 2000. So the 80s, 20 years ago. Friends was 10 years ago. Friends was literally just 10 years ago to me. It stopped being on TV. No, Linda, you're too kind. She does. Star Trek The Next Generation is 40 years old. Here's the thing. When we were watching... When I was watching Star Trek... So, Charlie, right now, the new Star Trek The Next Generation, is older today than the original series was when we watched it by 20 years.
I used to remember this fucking movie.
And I remember watching Star Trek, the original series with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, and I'm like, oh my God, look, they're so old. This was 20 years ago, and now the next generation is 40. What did somebody tell me? All right, there's a bunch of these. Happy Days debuted in the mid-70s, about nostalgic times in the mid-50s. So if they were to do a nostalgic feeling Happy Days today, it would be 2005. Wow. The Wonder Years was in the 70s, about the 60s. 15 years at most was the difference for the Wonder Years. So if they wanted to do, let's make a cute show about growing up in the nostalgic Wonder Years, it would be 2010.
Yeah, but there's nothing great.
Nothing's changed.
No.
That's the proof.
Nothing's.
That's the proof.
I don't think it's
look at
changed.
Happy Days, and then look at
I don't see, Yoga Girl.
Just go 20 years into the
people
future.
Still wear the fashion of the 2000s.
It's completely different. Completely different.
Yeah.
I did not have the Fonzie album.
Like fashions, like
Where's my walker?
like polo shirts and like khaki stuff for like
Yeah,
30 years.
exactly. I'm wearing jeans and a
There's
t-shirt.
been
I
no
was
jump.
wearing this
There
in
hasn't been a jump. There
1988.
hasn't been.
There was one other one. There's so many, but it's weird. You know, we listen to kids on TikTok will sample music from the 70s, like the disco music, constantly. And they know it. They know disco. And I'm like, that's amazing. They're listening to 50-year-old music.
Have you listened to any like new music?
No.
No, very nice.
I try to listen to my truck when I go driving the van. It was
I love the
it was
90s.
Like easy listening bullshit. I'm like, what is this? Like, it
Q was
all
more of a
so
pain in
like,
Voyager. It always drove me nuts that it wouldn't just snap them home.
They can't handle variety.
Kids today that listen to 70s disco and 70s music and they love it, and I'm like, that's awesome. They're not even a small part of them. The majority of them listen. They may not know it well, but they've heard it. That would be like us in 1975 listening to music from 1925.
Oh, the Roaring 20s, eh?
I mean, we didn't do it. I wasn't rocking to the Charleston.
Little brown Joe.
The thing that was cool about the 90s, we talk about the 80s all the time. I was just talking to guests today. The 90s was the most...
Diverse.
Not diverse, insane decade. We had Lorena Bobbitt cutting off her husband's penis, throwing it out her car window. And that was a news story. And then he became a porn star. We had a hit literally put out on one figure skater by another figure skater. She put a hit out on her. Nancy Kerrigan had a steel pipe taken to her knees to take her out of the Olympics by another ice skater.
Why?
She paid someone to do it.
Why?
You had the Long Island Lolita. You had, all the way up to the White House. Bill Clinton, love him or hate him, dude, that same thing, the blue dress. How does that happen?
The ladies
The
love
music
it.
in the 90s was so diverse.
The 90s music was incredibly diverse, same as but I'm telling you, the 90s was like a made-for-TV movie. Every day there was something burning. It was just insane. I was telling my daughters the Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding story. Like, there's no way that happened. I'm like, I promise you, it really did happen.
Wasn't a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Porn.
What's that?
It's like big time porn. And
Dude, you gotta look. If you haven't seen it, it's she had her husband and his goons take out the competition. And she was like, Nancy Kerrigan was like your Disney princess, beautiful, came from a family that was well off, had all the most beautiful costumes and all that. Tanya Harding was literal TPT. She grew up in a trailer park. Her mom sewed her costumes for her. She had what could only be described as the world's worst perm that was done at home with homemade. It was bad.
But then Nancy Kerrigan didn't win.
She took second. Waxwana Bayul, am I right?
Asana, yeah.
Asana, I can't believe I even came that close. OJ was the 90s. OJ Simpson. How does that happen? A guy that was a football player that was Noonan, the Naked Gun, Hertz commercials.
Have you seen the commercial?
Yes.
Oh yeah, nope. Isotoners.
Lewinsky was smart for saving that dress, but it wasn't her that it was what was her name? Linda Smart. Was it Linda?
That was with
No.
Linda. She was told to save the dress because that Linda chick had it in for Clinton. She's like, I got my chance. Linda Tripp, that's it.
Linda Tripp. Good job.
If it don't fit, you must have quit.
That's right.
Oh, and the Green River Killer, dude. The 70s, 80s, all the way through the 90s. The 90s serial killers finally. We had a. Cameras started being a thing. DNA started being a thing. But wasn't the cannibal guy? What was the guy?
Dahmer.
Wasn't Dahmer 90s? Yeah, Dahmer was 90s. What would Brian Boitano do? We had both Brians.
What would Brian Boitano do if he was here right now?
Nightmare on Elm Street was Johnny Depp's first movie, and Friday the
Yes.
13th was Kevin Bacon's first movie.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Aniston was in
Leprechaun.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did know that because she was on the cover.
That's all
It's
she's
the only
there
thing
for.
that made me get the damn
That's
movie.
all she's there for, is to be on the cover.
Milli Vanilli.
So you know.
Tylenol poisoning, I think, was the late
I haven't
80s.
watched
That
it
was
yet.
80s.
I
That
haven't
was
watched
80s.
that one. That's on
That was
Netflix.
80s. I remember I was really little. That was probably early to mid 80s. And I just remember my mom running through the house yelling in her Greek accent, "Throw away all the Tylenol." Throw it away. My dad saying, well, we've already had some of it. How bad could it be? Pins and needles and candy. Do you know no one ever found a razor blade? So in the 90s and in the late 80s, you were able in a lot of communities to take your Halloween candy to the ER. In the emergency rooms, there were
X-ray
ads.
'em?
They would X-ray your candy for you. And there was never a single incident that they've been able to find. Snopes looked if they could find a razor blade, and it never happened.
I don't remember
But in
anyone
my
giving away
mind,
drugs either.
the risk of somebody
No one's
doing
ever
that
given away
versus
drugs.
the risk of irradiating my candy. Something about zapping food that children are about to ingest with X-rays seems like a bad idea to me.
Used to have the what was the other urban legend?
For
The
cocaine, I was diligent.
LSD,
Glenn,
payphone.
you are
LSD payphone.
kicking that dead horse, my friend.
Like there people putting LSD on like the handles of the payphone, so when you picked it up, you started tripping.
Everybody wanted it. They didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Picking up phones.
I grew up. Dare told me, "Hey man, just say no to what? No one's giving
Spider
it away."
eggs inside.
I gotta
We
go
did
find
it.
it.
The 90s had some of the best. So the internet was new, and it just led to all kinds of stupid rumors being able to really make their way around. The Gerbil and Richard Gere. Yep. The other one I actually believed was getting back to the Wonder Years for a minute, Paul from the Wonder Years,
That was,
Marilyn Manson. And if you look at them, they look a lot alike, and I believe that was a thing. But yeah, the 90s, that was the other thing about the 90s. With all the craziness going around, all of a sudden we had chat rooms.
Oh, yes, ASL.
I mean, it was huge. ICQ, AOL chat rooms. I literally remember my dad had a restaurant, and 2 different waitresses met guys online, and it was a thing to go, biceps, please. Thank you, Linda. It was a thing to drive. I'm like, where are you going? Oh, this guy that I'm dating. Oh, you're dating someone? Have you met? No. We couldn't even share pictures because it took like 3 weeks and a promise to try to get a picture to download on a 12.6K modem or whatever the hell
And then
it
when you
was.
printed it, it was freaking dot matrix.
Yeah, I mean, so you just took it on faith that this guy was going to be who he said he was. And I remember she went, and then it was a thing. People just fell in love over ICQ.
That's why you were on ICQ.
I remember it would have the uh-oh every time so you get a message.
The reason I knew that was like when I was in college and stuff like that.
What the fuck is ICQ? Dairy Queen?
ICQ was strictly a chat room
Yeah,
program.
but I used to try that like Adobe products.
Okay.
If you get to certain chat rooms, you get like Adobe cracks to actually get the codes to
Right.
unlock products. So
No,
you,
no.
you have to type in like cookie in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, biceps,
and then somebody will give you the crack forward to unlock the actual application.
Yeah.
So you download it. It took like 3 days.
Just slow night at work. 14.4 modem. That was my first one. Thank you, dude. Exactly right. Then 26K. Then 24K.
And then 24.
Then 56K.
There was a 48 in between it, but
I had a
56.
56K modem. That was like speed.
Yeah.
That was fast.
And then after that, then something, and they kicked up.
28.8. Yep.
Then it kicked up after 56. They went to something else.
128.
No, but it was like a whole different like.
Well, I mean, then you could get cable modems
Right.
and stuff like that. But 56K, I remember it was like, wow, I can almost download porn.
I think it was cable.
Almost.
You get before like cable.
Couldn't really do it.
I'm trying to think what.
Dial-up.
It was bad.
We had dial-up. I think it might have.
DSL. I remember DSL.
I think that's what it is. DSL. That's what it was. Right there. Nailed it.
ISDN modem. Dude,
Nailed it. Nailed it.
did I have a husband in prison? Not that I can aware of.
DSL also.
If he has assets out here in the real world and he wants me to take possession,
Ha.
can't get me from prison.
Eddie. Eddie.
ADSL.
DSL. That was it. It was DSL.
My favorite was, you guys remember, you won't, you might, GeoPages, GeoCities. GeoCities.
I remember it, but I never used it.
GeoCities was like this world where you could go cities and you could build, you could build websites there using HTML. And they were the goofiest looking website. I mean, it was just bad graphics, bad color, bad. I mean, I remember building, I don't even know why I built a web page, but I did, just to have one. MySpace? I never was on MySpace.
That's what MySpace for us was.
But what
My-
year did MySpace come out?
I'm gonna say like 97.
So I would have been
98 maybe.
27. I still should have wanted to have been on it. I don't know why I missed
MySpace
it.
requires coding.
I was never on MySpace.
I
I
was.
guess
It was
I was in
great.
my
It was
mid-20s.
fantastic.
I was too busy drinking.
It was
I'm like, I'll
beautiful.
go meet people.
Because if you go to somebody's MySpace, they had like some kind of background music. They had like.
Angel
No,
Fire,
but that's the thing.
Lycos,
You
I
had
forgot
to
Lycos.
code. You had to code for MySpace.
Oh, ASL, absolutely, with the slashes. Because you want to make sure you know who you're talking to. Glenn, thank you so much, buddy.
was
$2
one
at a
that,
time. I
my
appreciate
friend
it.
left his MySpace open at work, and I mean, this is probably shit now. We're talking like
I definitely did
2003,
Napster.
2004. He left it open, and we changed the entire page and made his name Cuckoo for Cock.
Oh, Jesus. MySpace started in 2003.
Okay, it makes sense.
Yeah, so I was,
Makes sense.
I mean, I would have gotten married in 2002, had my first daughter in 2003.
MySpace for
There's no
years.
time for MySpace
No
for me.
5. No, my 5.
No 5. But then I remember when, do you remember when Facebook first came up for those people not in college? And it was basically statuses. It would be like John Kotrides is, and you would just type mowing the lawn and it's really hot. I mean, just stupid stuff. But we all just told people what we were doing, and that's what Facebook was. Just your status. And people could like your status. Can you still poke people on Facebook?
Yeah.
You really can? That's still a thing? You guys can poke people on Facebook still? I haven't poked someone in a very long time. But I've also been married almost 30 years, so there's that. Is
Is that why I'm walking sideways?
that why you're walking sideways?
I have a heartbeat somewhere in my chest.
I don't know. Somebody once joked and said that if you ever watch Scream, they did a really good job describing horror movies. And they said that if you want to be alive at the end of a horror movie, you need to not drink, not do drugs, not have any fun, and above by all means have no sex. And they said, so if you, in other words, you just want to be married like 20 years, and in a horror movie you'll make it out just fine.
Or 3.
Or 3.
Yeah, you walk out, you walk past the house. What's all the commotion? And just keep out your day.
No Facebook poking. Is it dead? It's a done thing now? You want one more? What time is it? You want another?
Poke.
Oh, it's 11.
Poke. It's okay.
You want one more? You good?
I hear you, Burley.
All right. I didn't realize it was 11. I haven't even started cleaning up yet. Lizard suit Larry? Leisure suit Larry.
Leisure suit Larry.
What was he from?
I know the name.
Leisure suit Larry. Oh, it was a game. I played that. Am I a bartender? No, but I play one on TV. All right, guys. I am a bartender, and we close at 11, and I've done nothing. So, Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time-ish, Wonderful World of Generation X. And then Wednesday, I'm out of here. Europe bound, European Vacation 2025. I'm going to bring all of you along. I'm hoping you guys will check out and see what I'm doing and what things look like over there. I'll be posting a lot, and I'll try to go live. But especially pictures, heavy on Facebook. See you guys soon. We'll see you Sunday, 8 p.m. Thank you guys so much. Glenn, total MVP, dude. Appreciate you.
Sunday.
It's going to be a crazy trip. 3 weeks. We'll see.